Hey YouTube, it's Green-Valor, and I want to start off by saying this area looks like a bigger mess than it usually is because I'm renovating my room. I gotta do some drywall work on the walls right now, fixing the trimmer on the windows, and gonna paint the room sort of like an earthy greenish. And I've also got to install a new fan. So all that's happening right now. I just want to get that out of the way so I'm not uploading the next couple weeks a lot of videos or any videos at all. You understand why, because I got to move everything in my room out for when it gets painted. So I may not be uploading much in the next week or two. Now that's out of the way, I'm going to talk about this article. Let's see here. Let's see what it's titled. I'm going to be linking it in the description anyways, as usual. Why we should close women's prisons and treat their crimes more fairly. Yeah, women's crimes. You know, those crimes we already sentenced them less for the same crimes. Let's treat them more fairly. But let's just not charge them at all. Let's just close down women's prisons because women don't ever commit crimes. It's interesting because I went to college. I've said this in other videos, and I have it on my YouTube channel that I went to college for law and understanding. I want to be a cop. I wanted to be a cop, so I wanted to understand police work. I took a lot of courses in that. And it's interesting because the rate at which women they almost weren't in prison at all before the 80s. And ever since the 80s, there's been a huge push for this equality thing. And I think they found a really good happy medium in the 80s and 90s. And that was the era where we saw an extremely large increase in women getting imprisoned. It wasn't because women were necessarily committing more crimes. We actually noticed that men were committing less crimes by the percentage, and women were actually getting imprisoned more for crimes. They were actually getting convicted more often, and men were committing less crimes. So that was why that happened. It wasn't necessarily that women were just committing more crimes, that they were actually getting sentenced more rather than not. And before you start with me, this was around the time that law was passed where you could be charged with rape or sexual assault within a marriage. So we saw an increase in sexual assault crimes within marriages in men as well, yet the crime rate as a whole still went down, which means I guess there really weren't that many sexual assaults within a marriage at the time, because the crime rate continued to plunder for men getting incarcerated. You know, for those crimes just wasn't enough to make up for the fact that men just stopped committing crimes, and you saw more women getting sentenced. It wasn't necessarily that they were committing more crimes, but an increase in population and harsher sentencing, because they really weren't getting sentenced at all. They were let off for most crimes. Assaults, once they instituted a lot of these laws, they decided, well, we got to actually take women to court now for assault, and we saw violent crimes increase women in the statistics. Surprise, surprise. And it wasn't to do with them committing more crimes. It was simply that they were getting incarcerated for the crimes. They were getting charged properly and going through the system. Now they want to go back to that system because they went, oh, it's way better. Just like all these articles that are coming out about women complaining that there's no more chivalry, there's no more opening the door to women. Well, that comes from 30 to 40 years of you telling us not to do that. And now men are conditioned not to do that anymore in society. And now they want to do the opposite of what we did. Look, all these equality laws, there's a good and the bad. You can either abstain from certain things and get certain benefits, or you can get, but if you want to be treated as men, that's the solution. You have to get incarcerated. You have to get charged for crimes you commit. And actually, if you want me to be frank, women need harsher sentencing. We're starting to see this with sexual assault crimes with teachers in Canada. Women are getting, we've had one woman, I think she got like 25 years because she was having sex with a student for like 3 years all through high school, and she got knocked up by the kid. That's fucked up. 3 years of sexual abuse, just fucking the kid. Now she gets 25 years. And we've actually got a lot of media articles saying, is this enough? Should we do more? Well, we can't really do more in 25 years. That's a life sentencing in Canada. We can do consecutive life sentencing, but we save those for extremely violent crimes. But yeah, I mean, we're obviously seeing a rise in this, and then these women are seeing this, and they're like, Oh, we don't like this. We don't like women going to jail for crimes they commit. Well, I'm sorry, but this is the nature of things. It's the nature of the beast. You want to be treated like men. Now you are. So if you commit a crime, you go to prison. And that's just the blunt of it. I'm kind of thirsty. Energy drink. I went to the gym today. I worked out chest, triceps, biceps, and shoulders today. I also made this wicked good 3-egg omelet. I started making omelets. Awesome. Huge amount of protein in them. But let's see the article here. It looks like it's got a picture from just, I don't know what the hell this picture's from. It doesn't look like it's from any prison. Yeah, it's from that Netflix show. I think it's Orange is the New Black. They don't have an actual picture. How much, Neighbor? Something about promoting Hillary Clinton. Fuck Clinton. I hate her so much. I hate her almost as much as I hate Trudeau right now. She's an idiot. Saying women now comprise 8% of prisoners in the United States and Australia. That's not a lot. And now they want to drop it even lower. Look, if they want parity in the job field, they should want parity in the prisons too. I think in Canada we got like 20%, 20 to 30% incarceration rate. They have the statistics here. They had no problem putting up the statistics for Canada, United States, and all that stuff. Yeah. They're like, oh, they only commit about 20% of the crimes. That's unfucking believable. Yeah, they only commit 20% of the crimes. We should not incarcerate them. That's such a small figure. It's unfucking believable. 20%? Imagine 20% of all crimes just going unchecked. Just nobody's paying for their crimes. They're just going unchecked, just whatever. It's a woman. I'm passing it off. Imagine how much entitlement women would have if you just let them off every time they were charged with something. No, if they do something really fucking awful, they need to go to prison. That's why we have it. The actual purpose of a prison, the first thing I'm going to address, it's to protect the public. That's number one. Protect the public. Okay, that's the first reason for a prison. Second reason, protect the inmate, protect the accused. Because if you don't put that person in prison and someone finds out you did fucked up shit, okay, for example, the woman I talked about that raped that 13-year-old boy for like 3 years, if they let her out and kept her out there and didn't do anything, that boy's parents would have fucking killed her. They would have done something. The public at large would have done something to her. Protecting the inmate's safety. Okay, so public safety, inmate safety. Third, rehabilitation. Those are the three functions of a prison. Third is rehabilitation. Now, I'll be honest with you, they've made some effort to fix the rehabilitation problem and prevent recidivism. We're seeing an increase in Canada anyways. I've noticed over statistics over the years, recidivism has gone down for these crimes. However, we haven't found an NLBL solution for reforming inmates. It's just really difficult, especially if they live that way their entire life or they have some sort of psychological problem. We just haven't been able to address that problem effectively yet. But that is the third function of a prison. So protection of the public and the person, the accused, and rehabilitation. Fixing the problem so that when they do come out of prison, they don't do it again. There's no recidivism. Recidivism is the rate at which the incarcerated commit crimes. When they come in, they go out, are they going to commit the same crime again? If someone's heavily into drug use, when they go into the prison, are they going to keep using drugs when they go out? If yes, the recidivism rate goes up. If no, it goes down. And they take that from the population as a whole. That's basically what recidivism is. It's the rate of repeat for crime. And that's all I really have to say about the article. I'm going to link it in the description. I'm not going to bother putting anything up here, I don't think, except for the, title scroll. But that's all I have to say about the article. And this article is posted on June 1st, 2016. Just so you know. I know you may have heard about these articles coming up where we shouldn't incarcerate women. They've been happening for a few years now that I know of, and it's getting sickening. It was happening actually when I was in college, about 4 or 5 years ago. we saw these articles come up. My professors were pretty fucking pissed off about it, especially the female professors who were officers. They flat out told us that some of the things they've seen these women do were absolutely ridiculous, like stabbing their boyfriends 60 fucking times, raping husbands, just chopping off genitalia. They've done all this shit, and a lot of it goes unreported. Well, the media doesn't touch it, or they didn't at the time. Now they're trying a little more because they know it was wrong not to talk about that stuff. But at the time, they really weren't, and these officers would go in there and it'd be a fucking bloodbath some of the times. So that's all I have to say about the article. Women should actually they should go a little harsher because they're definitely not even close to men right now as far as sentencing. And by the way, if you're wondering how to get a more fair sentencing in a case with a woman, get a female judge. Apparently, I've noticed this. I had to do a research paper for this in college. Female judges are very fair when it comes to sentencing women, and male judges are not. They go right to case law. They go right by the book, and they go, what would a man be charged with? And then they charge her with that, and then they sentence her the way a man would. And so if you really, really want to make sure the accused gets sentenced properly, try and get a female judge, because they will sentence her pretty harshly. They'll sentence her fairly, I should say. Not harshly, fairly. Saying harshly is like, oh, they're getting charged more than men. No, they'll go like, all right, what would a man go for? And that's how they do it. Anyways, that's the video. This has been Green-Valor. Like if you liked the video, dislike if you didn't, comment. I like talking to you guys. And sub up if you feel like it.